Always cool, those New Hampshire mornings when woken by the siren song of vodka thickening in the freezer, Uncle Mike tanked up and hit the road towards biblically named rivers where rainbow trout washed below currents like hollow stones. When we joined him, his legendary drunk in full bloom behind the wheel of a stale-smelling Honda, cigarette-pinched fingers out the window, he didn't have much to say. Shut up if another guy's out there, especially a fly fisherman. Don't throw rocks. Tiny frogs make better bait than worms when catching bass. A man consumed by noise finds quiet in screams of water. His rumbling gut becomes the river. His curdling spit joins the rush until this singular man is runoff from the rain on Tuckerman's ravine, is traveling to each ocean in a piece of something else. At least that's what I think Uncle Mike was trying to teach us as his piss joined the larger stream. What we caught, we hoisted home in plastic buckets for Grandma to fry, and we always caught the limit, always ate and swallowed little bones. You guys don't have to clap after it, don't worry about it. Seriously, it's fine. Thanks everybody for coming. It's really nice of you. I took one of the flights of stairs and then I'm terrified of heights and I was like, I have to take the elevator. Also, I hurt my leg yesterday. I know. So this is the book I'm selling. You can pay me whatever you want for it. I'll donate the author royalties to Integrated Refugee and Immigration Services, which is a fantastic organization in New Haven, Connecticut, where I used to live. Another place that I used to live is Laos in Southeast Asia. And I wrote, many of the poems for Go are inspired by my time living in Laos. This is called Haiku Forecast, Laos in Hot Season. The heat seizes us. In weeks, the clothes will drip off our bodies. We melt into other forms. First, we are sweat, then hot nights, next, the air itself. Some dream of ice baths, others beer in shade, though most just long for June rains, the darkening clouds. Monks pray for cooler mornings, collecting their alms. Each tuk-tuk driver parks on the roadside, hangs still in a string hammock. Old women step slow beneath parasols, sweating in personal shade. Ripening mangoes become mush. Green bananas brown in the pure heat. Rice fields brown and burn. Champa flowers browned and burned. Skin browning, burning. Seasons leave nothing as before. Even our minds, once elastic, now melt into all things. We are one another. We are coconut palms, geckos, papaya, stray dogs, road dust swirled by rare, hot season wind. Okay, oh, come on, give me a break. All right, I'm just gonna read like one more from the book because I've read these so many times that if anyone writes, you just like start to hate and get bored of the things that you have written. That doesn't mean that it's bad, you should still buy the book, it's definitely great. I just my judgment is so clouded by the idea that these are old poems. Okay, I will read one, not from Korea. I have poems about Korea in here too, but I'll read one about my best friend in one of the road trips that we have been on, where we drove to La Jolla in San Diego, California. in La Jolla drinking Blue Label at dusk. Blue Label is expensive scotch, of course. To Will. The problem was always that the Earth's turning brought us back where we started, though better tanned. But La Jolla was finally dark. From that porch deck, our breath steeped in too expensive scotch. We saw night lay hands over the surf, and we darkened too. With bellies hollow and brown liquor burning, I thought of the path that led us there, to that night, and our red-faced stumble through La Jolla's millionaire neighborhoods, hammered into coastal mountains. My single-minded pursuit of fish tacos. For days, we thought only of La Jolla, San Diego, driving 2,000 miles from Tennessee to California, only stopping to piss or fill the tank. We both began to hallucinate in New Mexico. Too much caffeine, no sleep. The starlight bled into the white-dotted roadways, but we kept driving intent on Arizona sunrise. When the desert, red swirled, orange peaked, rose in the rear view, and we stopped to take the most energizing pee of our lives over cactus patches on a winding Susian highway, we were just pinpoints on a topographic map. 1 week later, numb over Pacific sun, pretending we knew the subtle smoke of fine scotch. There was a distance confining our last hours until departure. Time should have folded into some final image. Copper sunset, our glasses glowing amber, eyes steady set on wavy horizon. But that was too easy. The scotch still burned. Dusk left us bitter. Nothing was missing, and we'd never have this again. So I've got a new chapbook of poems due out through Sutra Press in like September or August. This is not one of those poems, but I needed to plug it before I forgot. I'm writing a lot of poems about animals mating, and I have a lot of flies in my apartment, so this is about flies. Written in the voice of a fly to another fly. There is a little epigraph at the top. Houseflies live only 15 to 30 days, but spend most of those days searching for and finding mates. It's called Dejected Fly's Death Note to a Mate. Odds are I'll be dead before you read this. Good. Odds are you're already airborne, bloated with another stock of seeds, searching for sweet dank rot, eggshells, chicken bones, heat-wretched diapers. Fine. It was too easy to find your back. Your stink brutalized the air till we all swam inside it. You parted your wings and gave your eggs all of me. Like you asked. We're born to mount and be mounted, to torture, silence, eat the dead, then die. Remember that day, how the wind was orange? Remember the geckos stuck flat to flatter stones, eyeing our doubled self? Odds are you don't remember anything. It was forever ago. What was the point? All those flights and lights and darks, me just hoping to find you again, you sailing off full of generations. Also wrote a chapbook of breakup poems for a person who I'm not broken up with anymore.
Throw away the book.
I know, I should just get rid of it and burn it. But this is the last of those poems. And they're all called After You Leave, and then the other stuff. So this is called After You Leave, You Come Back, and I am filled to my nose with preposterous freedom. And they're all sonnets. I mean it when I say that after you left, I tasted every bit of food with implausible longing, as a dead man tastes dirt and wishes it pork belly. That heat was the air strangled with sickness. That beer was lotus flowers in lands that don't forget. That highways were timeless asphalt, crumbling universes of movement. That countries were not big enough to hold me. That people were vessels for what's unsaid. That last night, when kung fu and cheap champagne baked us into the futon after months craving just this simple instant when you come back, we are spilling with expanse. Okay. I don't know how I'm doing on time.
Only halfway there.
Oh my god, I should have planned better. Alright. Here's, I'll read 3 more. This is one from my new upcoming chapbook called Buddha versus Bonobo. This is not a poem about bonobos, but this is just like a nice ending poem, so I put it in there. It's called A Longing, and I wrote it when I was working in an office in New Haven, and it was horrible weather all the time, because New England, I don't know if anyone was from New England, it's the worst. I like the weather, like, yeah, it's nice, but the weather's terrible. And all I could think about was leaving to one of the many places that I have lived before that are tropical and the people are nicer. It's called A Longing. The concrete crust of cities, oblivion, cracks and brittle breaks outside office windows. Think of departing. Think of journeys and sky emptiness. Beaches tiptoed by fiddler crabs, dragging fist claws at the precipice of sand and sea. Think thunder and days dripping down corrugated tin roofs when nothing was thought. Think fruit trees. Banana, tamarind in an Indian village where sugarcane caramelizes, heat sweetens breath, apple in cool autumn Connecticut, cider donuts frying out steel food truck walls with wine tasting down the orange-leafed roadway, avocado fenced in a Lao woman's backyard and beyond, an expanse of simmering rice paddies. Freedom feels weightless all through the bones. When the fish are caught, fruit foraged, lands all of vastness, unintelligible and unimportant, a million departures. If anyone wants to take pics, that's fine. You can text it to me or whatever, post it to the internet.
Done.
Thanks, friend. All right. This is a poem, another poem that I wrote for my best friend Will, and there's a moment that we talk about that happened when we were in 6th grade. So I was 12 years old, and now I'm 29, so that's 17 years ago. We still talk about it. And we've created a mythology around it. It's also very crass. It's about a time he farted in study hall. So this is a poem. It's a fart poem. One of the many of the genre that is full of poems about farts. This is just another one. So you can remember it as the fart poem. I call it Will Makes History for Val. 6th grade study hall on Wednesdays. 90 minutes quiet in the chorus room. 2 gym classes worth of preteens sat every other chair. The chorus teacher, Mr. Kowicki, vigilant, staring silence into our awkward skulls and bowl cuts. Will was extra awkward. Glasses, braces, long-sleeved shirt tucked into khakis. I was the loud fat kid, quick with a joke or a well-timed fart in the library. Connor, our Korean friend, stoic and socially inept, rounded out a misfit trio. Who wasn't a misfit at 12 years old? One Wednesday, the study hall packed in 20 more students, another gym class canceled, near 60 kids swelling a room made for half that. I could hear the wheezing of my fellow asthmatics. Whisper, then hush, whisper, then hush, from popular girls, some still in gym shorts. A page-turning breeze from Kowicki's gradebook. Will tapped me, his acne-stained face pulsing, some fire, some force not to be contained in a fragile body. The encompassing quiet solidified the air surrounding his chair as he elevated his ass slightly, hell-bent on recompense for my discretions in the library earlier that day. And he slaughtered the silence of study hall, his fart ejecting from soft body to plastic public school chair, rising and reverberating off the acoustic chorus room walls, pushing higher into the ceiling, knocking over doors to swing open lockers in the hallway, echoing until it became part of our ears for what seemed minutes. And when the sound dropped, so did Kowicki, holding his stomach and howling wonderment, distilled laughter. An entire room cackling as if there were no other farts, no other rooms, no other day but today when one pimple-pocked nobody stole the sound back. Let's do that one more. That's that one. Damn it. It's like a good ending poem. All right. I guess I will read, what do I have, like 5 minutes? 4 minutes? Okay. I'll read one that made me cry last time I read it, so this is Redemption. It's the last poem of my book, Go. And when I was in Connecticut, I was checking my iPhone all the time just to see the forecast in Vientiane, Laos, whenever I felt like, oh, this is horrible. I used to live in a place that was nice and warm. Now I do again. But every time it was like 20 degrees and somehow raining in Connecticut, I would check and it would be like 90 in Vientiane. All right. In Connecticut, checking the forecast in Laos on my iPhone, to Megster. It's 81 with a chance of thunderstorms in Vientiane. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 97. Thursday will be 99 and stormy. Rainy season is creeping in. Remember how Dongdok village fell into blackouts most evenings last May? Without stoplights, the traffic pushed back all the way from Punsuri Hotel to campus. Bon would still be outside selling chicken and sticky rice by the light of a grill fire. Even under silvered skies, we took Saturdays for tanning and massages. The women at the spa learned our names and the contours of our heaving bodies. How you'd fall asleep when she touched your back, and I'd get an erection when she shifted her rhythmic fingers to my thighs. We were falang in slow motion, on streets whose names we couldn't remember. We guessed origins of dreadlocked backpackers from behind perfectly foamed cappuccinos. The tall blonde guy is Swedish, obviously. The drunk, pink-skinned ginger is English, no fucking question. The girl in blue elephant pants. French? After teaching, evening rains creeping. We'd eat papaya salad and grilled chicken enough for 4 people and solve all the world's problems nightly. We'd dissect everything wrong with the world. the misallocation of resources, monogamy, American brutality, powerful people breaking the backs of the weak, how both of us hadn't had sex for almost 1 year. Every meal together, you and I, and not a moment of silence, not a second to catch our breath. We talked until the hotel lobbies, so the hotel boys slipped into cots in the lobby. Our hearts would break as we said, "I love Laos," over and over, thinking of a time when Bon wouldn't be next door, sleeping by his mechanic shop, and his baby, Da, wouldn't be slung over her mother's waist. Of days when our students wouldn't join for Friday lunch, nights of Mekong sunsets at the riverfront, draining big beer lows. A teat puttering late on his blue motorbike, green helmeted and handsome. We freaked out about futures, ours and others. What are nights without Bing Gai for dinner? Afternoons without sunsets, speaking Lao with strangers, ripe mangoes and blackened bananas, sweet potatoes, crisped hours on street-side grills. What are nights not shared with you? It will be hot in Laos all week, hot in Vientiane when the Mekong has receded to a beach, hot in Dong Dok where our students will ride to class without helmets and baby Da must be walking and talking by now. Hot in Savannakhet with its rabid dogs roaming alleyways. In Luang Prabang where tourist French girls must be buying dry weed from tuk-tuk drivers once the bar closes. Siang Quang where bomb casings decorate every shop. We can only remember certain details now. How the market smelled, the particular bite of cold beer lao on ice. How inside Wat Misayaram felt different than anywhere else in the city. It is 81 and thunderstorms are shaking the burnt sky. Remember the rush of approaching monsoon rains, the explosion of wind, stillness. Then the curtain of clouds rips open and drenches us, covers every single thing. Thank you.